I'm familiar with it. I watched other people on live, but just being live, I had
Yes.
other opportunities, but I didn't want to kind of do it at that time. So when you told me that you wanted to interview me, I had to jump on that.
Yes, and I'm so happy you did. And so we are live right now. Hey, everybody.
What's going on? What's going
Hello,
on?
everybody. Hello, hello, hello. I'm so happy to again be here with you guys and share again. We're starting off with L'amour de Soi. Yay! And so
Wow.
super excited. Super excited about my guest. And so right now we are just trying to get everything set up. So if you guys can take a few minutes out right now and just share today's session with author Carl Wright. So Carl, if you want to say something to your people, and also um I'm going to share from Kappa Learning Group and put it on my page as well. But if you could take the time out just to share, because this is a special moment, we want to uplift our Black authors and make sure that they get recognition. So right now we are at the Writers Corner. This is called the Writers Corner. This session is dedicated to authors, and since it's Black History Month, we definitely want to feature um, our black authors. So, and also later on tonight, I'll be with my friends Gloria Kitchen and Kyrie Demby. They will be doing again their the Black American um, authors read on tonight. So we're going to be celebrating Black authors all tonight, and then here at Kappa Learning Group. So we're super excited about uplifting the Black author, the Black writing community, which is so super important. So if you shared your information,
Definitely.
all right, all right, all right. So
Yep.
I'm super okay, good, good, good. So we are going to start off by first just, tell us about who you are. Um, First off, tell us about who you are and how did you get to begin writing?
Okay. My name is Carl, right? I am a former student athlete. That was what a lot of people knew me for being growing up. Um, People wouldn't necessarily think of me as a writer. Can you hear me?
I can hear you, yes. We can hear you loud and clear. It's very clear.
Okay, got you. All right, so a lot of people wouldn't know me necessarily for being a writer, more so, a comedian and an athlete. However, I was in the magnet program growing up, straight out of Gresham Park. And then I went on to Teachers Magnet School. And let me back up just a little bit before elementary school. I attended an all black daycare center on Gresham Road called Johnson's Learning Center. Shout out to JLC.
Okay,
That
okay.
is actually where I developed my passion for writing
Hmm.
then because we were challenged, you know, on a daily basis to write and also to draw and just express our creativity
Hmm.
outside of, heavy literature.
Mm.
So one of the first contests I won was up out of Johnson Learning Center. It was a drawing contest, and we had to write a poem as well. And I actually got chosen by Sesame Street magazine, and I represented Georgia. I was only one of 12 winners
Hmm.
who got featured in that magazine, and I was actually the only one out of Georgia to, make that magazine. That was back in 1986.
Oh
So that
wow.
kind of sparked my love for it sparked my love for competition. Using my talent, something that I would, do every day.
Mhm.
Um,
Mhm.
and Johnson Learning Center helped refine those skills and talents, and that passion. So
Yes.
I kind of hid it a little bit from there. Went on and started focusing on, even though the magnet program kind of prepped me for that even further. But I
Mhm.
went on to play ball at Christian
Yes.
Park. Um, it was a huge defining moment for me there, and just that notoriety from sports led me, you know, to through school being known. Um, and then we get into Kitcher's Magnet School, which fed into Chamblee High School's
Mhm.
magnet program. We
Mhm.
had an extensive literary program there, math and science. Um, and there we had gotten introduced to the 5 paragraph essay, and I'm
Mhm.
sure a lot of people remember having to, you know, do that 5 paragraph essay, and
Yes.
you get graded on the different parts, the body, the conclusion, and
Right.
things like that. So being able to focus on those different components really stuck with me
Mhm.
because I kind of gravitated to Greek mythology and writing, but I really
Wow.
didn't know that I loved writing that much.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Mhm.
because I was focused so much on sports. And I
Yes.
remember
Yes.
at one point in the 10th grade, I had a meeting with my mom and the
Mhm.
assistant principal at that time
Mhm.
because I had started getting a lot of offers to play football in college. So they were actually trying to weigh whether or not I should still be in the magnet program because sports was taking up a lot of my time, 100% of my time. Academics, with the magnet program was taking
Yes.
up 100% of my time. And that's
Wow.
a lot. So
Mhm.
that I was still, I was going to go to college on a scholarship and, either academic or athletics. So
Mhm.
they chose to let me get out of the magnet program and focus on athletics.
Yes.
Um,
So,
so there was a story that I started, in school, and that was actually the beginning of, the book that I wrote, Collin's Sweet
mhm.
Adventure.
Okay. Okay. And what inspired you to write a book um based upon your son?
Uh, yeah. So I kind of changed the book that I had started a while back to
Mhm.
fit him because I started thinking about what can I do to leave a legacy. The
Yes.
book was not done, so
Mhm.
him giving me some ideas on how I could end the book and kind of patchwork it a little bit to make it a little more appealing to the younger crowd. It
Yes.
gave it a new life. So just me becoming, a father. I'm a single father, and I'm, trying to, pour into him and mentor him on and share with him stuff that I grew up doing. It
Mhm.
just naturally turned a corner, and
Mhm.
I made him the main character, and the rest was
Mhm.
history.
Mm. Well, I want to just stick a pin in that.
So
Um, so when you talked about your son, I felt this. I don't know this blooming or this blossom of love that kind of was in there. Just talking about your son. So tell us about your son. How influential is he in your life? How has he changed you or helped you to evolve?
yeah, he's definitely changed my life for the better. Once I got, since he was born, I have pictures of him. Got a chance to dress him up in the latest Falcons gear. Had the delivery nurses and everybody involved, participating. So it was something that just hit me. It's nothing like having somebody who is made from you,
Mm,
and I didn't know I was going to be this happy. I was happy, but just there's a different type of happy, a different type of
mm,
joy when you have,
mm,
especially a father having a son. and just seeing his characteristics kind of, mirror some of mine and interest and things like that. And just to
Mhm.
have him, as a little child, you see children a lot following you everywhere you go. So that was, I saw that both, literally and figuratively,
Mhm.
him following me, looking up to me, uh, being introduced to new things by me.
Mhm.
So I just want to take advantage of that opportunity, and just pour into him
Mhm.
and show him, some of the things that I was kind of exposed to because,
Mhm.
of course, he wasn't born then. So you're just
Mhm.
sharing, some of your life with him, and to
Mhm.
see him, receive that and be excited and come to you with ideas and, just daddy, hey dad, that right there just, there's no better feeling than that.
Oh
And,
wow.
you know, I think the book was saved for this moment to be able to, finish it because it wasn't going to be finished until he was born. You know what I mean?
Wow.
So I'm excited and just sharing with him, what it
Mhm.
means to leave a legacy. A book is something that cannot be taken away from you. You know
Mhm.
what I mean?
Mhm.
And
Mhm.
to have his name is something that I told him he could, promote this book even after I'm
That's
old and
right.
in, a wheelchair somewhere.
Yes.
He'll
Yes.
be able to promote the book.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And my mentor
So,
said a long time ago that having a book or writing a book is a gift that keeps on giving. You know, it keeps on giving. So
yep, exactly.
that's a powerful, powerful legacy that you created for your son. You know, that he can look back and see your words because words are living. So really, you just continue to give life.
Yep,
You know, just through your words. You
exactly.
know, when we speak, we manifest things. So your words will be living on and on forever. So that is a legacy, you know, that
Yep,
is very powerful, very, very powerful. And then you dedicating that book
definitely.
to your son. That's a powerful place that you created. So, you know,
Yep,
that's very powerful. Wow, wow. I love it. I love it.
yes, and
So tell us about your company, your business. Now, what all does it encompass? Tell us the name of your business, what you do, any specialty services that you offer.
okay. Well, the name of the company is CNC Wright Investments, and our slogan is invested in everything that we do.
Mm,
Um, I feel like the slogan is catchy because some people think that we're an investment firm, but it gives an opportunity for me to, engage them in some dialogue.
mhm,
And that's
mhm.
exactly what we wanted. CNC, of course, is for Carl Collin.
Mhm,
Colin isn't old enough to, own the company, but it'll eventually be, something that will be able to be turned over to him.
mhm, mhm.
So invested in everything we do is setting everything up, to be a um, company where we can do have other company subsidiaries doing business as, which we
Okay.
have already started with three parts. And the main part is the children's book side of it.
Mhm.
We also do custom notebooks and journals and children's workbooks.
Okay.
So what we
Wow.
do with that is we kind of solicit uh, larger accounts like your elementary schools,
Mm.
your daycare centers.
Mhm.
We can customize the content of your workbooks, crossword puzzles, tracing, letters, and things like that. We can customize it to fit your school's theme, mascot, and things like that.
Wow.
Uh, Journals and notebooks going in line with our focus today on mental health and well-being.
Mm.
So you can have a custom journal notebook for your company, for yourself. So if you're, in charge of your employee fund at your job, place of employment, or if you're an entrepreneur, let us, help you to give back to your customers and, your employees with some customized, journals, notebooks, and things like that.
Oh wow.
We also offer editing and proofreading services. That's the second part of our company. So if you're,
I
an
need that.
author, you know what I mean? So we're there. We can help you with your media, social media management, and things like that. We're all capable of a lot of things, but sometimes you may just want to solicit our services, just to take a load off. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I hate proofreading. I hate it. I absolutely hate it. I absolutely hate it. I hate it. I mean,
Yeah.
like if I'm on Facebook, I know I'm in the moment, and then I just send it. Then I'm like, oh, look at all these grammatical, look at all these errors, and I hate
Mhm.
proofreading. I mean, some people do. I like to write. You know, I'm a good writer, but proofreading, I suck at it. Like I hate it. I'm like I've written it. That's it. So
Yeah.
some people are like that. Like they've written it they're in the moment and they want to hold on to those feelings, but the proofreading needs to be done. So I'm that person. Like
I
I
feel you.
don't know, but
You
yeah,
know,
that is awesome.
it takes a team. Sometimes you just have to,
Hmm.
got to
Hmm.
draft some players sometimes and get it done.
Yeah, exactly. That's right. That's right. Wow. Well, are there any other projects? Can you expound on the other books that you have? Is is Collins Adventure a series? Are you creating a series? How are you doing that project?
Exactly. I'm glad you asked that. Yep. I'm creating a series with it. I just want the supporters who have bought the book, read the book, or who have even heard about the book, just
Hmm.
stay tuned because there's more to come. You'll
Hmm.
notice in the book that you have the boys on there.
Yes. Okay. Yes. Yes. I was
Just
gonna
make go
go on
ahead.
my Kindle. I'm sorry. I was gonna go on my Kindle so that they could see. I have it on Kindle.
Okay.
So guys, it is on Kindle. If you have, classrooms, I have a virtual classroom, early childhood classroom, learning through play dates, and so we use the Kindle a lot. And so that I was so happy to see it on Kindle.
Yep.
Hmm.
We're trying to give everybody an opportunity, to be able to enjoy the book. Spread the word. Uh, I like to describe it as our modern day Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. Everybody has that. When children go through that cognitive developmental stage,
Hmm.
it gives you a chance to, kind of explore your imagination, get a chance to, experience all of these, childhood delicacies, so to speak,
Hmm.
and adventure, with your family and friends. It's something that,
Hmm.
I really want uh, to stick with people and, kind of be a staple to their childhood.
Yes.
Something that
Yes.
parents and teachers used to bond with their students and children. So,
Hmm. Hmm.
and
Can
I'm
you
digging that cover art. Thank you, Wilson.
Yes, this is a beautiful illustration. I mean, it is just amazing. The illustrations in here. And if you don't mind, I can thumb through the book so others can see. Let's see. Sometimes my Kindle is not it acts up a little bit. So just looking through the
There you go. Look,
illustrations. Look at that. That is amazing. That is so beautiful. I love the illustrations. The color usage in here is
yeah,
just
he did.
amazing. Wow. That is so nice. So nice. Can
Yeah,
you give us a little bit of
yeah,
the
thank you so
storyline?
much.
You're welcome. Can you just give us a little bit of the storyline?
Yeah, the storyline. I definitely wanted to on this one just start off kind of, I guess, merging some of real life with fantasy and imagination.
Mhm.
With Collin does live with me, so starting off at Daddy's house, him having his friends over, something that Growing up, we always, couldn't wait till the weekend so we could spend the night at one of our friends' houses. Everybody kind of took turns going to different people's houses. And, kind of with me, I would go to one of my friends' house who stayed in Ellenwood. And they had, it was a wooded area all around the house. So it was just like this, minus the snow. Growing up in Georgia, we may get a
Yeah.
little.
Yes.
I got a chance to play around and make it what I wanted it to be this time. So, you know, having the having the fellas over the house, I definitely wanted to make sure that I implemented some of my values into the story. Getting your chores done before you go outside and play, asking permission, just those subtle things that, reading the book over and over, kind of like watching a movie, you notice something different the second time, something, that you didn't see the second time, the third time you watch it. So for readers of this book, you may notice some things, each time you read it, and definitely manners, and respect, teamwork. Those are key elements that come from me and my experiences growing up that I wanted to, kind of infuse into this book. And,
Mhm.
we always grew up going outside. We
Mhm.
actually, once we went outside, we got, kind of fussed at a little bit if we came inside too much. So this
Yeah.
is kind of what we grew up doing, going
Yeah.
on. We had to make it an adventure. And we would, if there were a world like this, we would have stumbled upon it too. Because we would have been so deep in the woods, we smelled something, we taking that adventure and running with it. So it just
Yeah.
is only fitting that they found this world through, exploring and kind of hanging together. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? And
Mhm. Yes.
the
Yes.
reward in finding something and just figuring out how to, we're enjoying everything together. They also, when they get into, their situation, they have to, kind of rely upon teamwork, even to, navigate through
Yes.
through some things. I'm trying not to, give it away, but
Mhm.
that's something that I purposely wanted to put into the book, and I was happy to see that other readers, through their reviews on Amazon, they noticed it as well. So I feel like, that was a win on that in that situation.
Oh wow, that is amazing. That is so amazing. Thank you for your creativity. Thank you for creating a space for black children and creating a space, for black authors. Um, and also being transparent in your writing and you know allowing your child to be the force underneath your creativity. So at this time and moment,
Mm-hmm.
as a writer, and you are giving your gift to the world, to the nations, what do you get to create as a writer? What is your gift to others? What do you get to create?
I would say my thing that I get to create is a character or characters, like in this book and other literary writers, books I'm working on. Give everybody a character that they hopefully can identify with.
Mm,
Every character in these books that I'm writing, they have their unique personalities, traits, interests, and things that they can contribute, you know, as a member of a group. I think I would always write something where you have a team or a group, so to speak. Or let me
mm,
reverse that, a group or a team, because that is a part of my background, being
mhm,
a former athlete,
mhm,
so that
mhm.
everyone who reads it and kind of gravitate, that audience that I would like to gravitate towards my works would be people who can identify with the value of teamwork. Even if you're in a large family, two, three more, whatever, we have to learn how to navigate through situations, good and bad, and know that we are valued. We kind of playing off of
Mhm.
that mental
Yeah.
health awareness at all
Mhm.
times. You do have a value. 1 plus 1 is 2. So if you're coming into a situation where you make that 1 into a 2, you have instantly become that added value. So
Mm.
I actually have a friend. We're praying for him now who has been going through some things, some mental health issues, and we're hoping and praying for the best. But definitely want to reach out to him and anybody else who may feel like they don't have any value. You have people who are leaning on you, looking at you as their mentor when you may not even think about it. You may not even be aware.
Yeah.
So just know that you have that added value, and we can have some fun with it. It's not always bad, not always good. It's just a sum of both.
Mhm.
Life is full of its ups and downs. These books are meant to bring, laughter, joy, and lessons of love and, leadership. Being a good follower is also just as important as being a leader. Um, so that,
Yeah.
all of that rolled up into one big burrito. Isn't it Tuesday?
Yes.
Taco Tuesday. So it's relatable on all fronts.
Yes.
It's relatable on.
Yes, yes, that is so true. That is so true. I love that. I love that whole your whole explanation of that and how your book has weaves or weaved itself in your experience. It's just like a spread or a quilt. It has so many different pieces of
Yep.
yourself, in your book. The patchwork of your book has so many different elements of you and your son, and it's a beautiful thing. It really,
Mhm.
really is. So, I salute you on that, and thank you for sharing your gift to us and allowing us to, just be a part of your journey. I think that is just so powerful. And I just want to thank you so much. Just being on the Capital Learning Group platform and being here with us on tonight. It's been an honor. It really has.
Hey,
So
I
celebrate
definitely
yourself.
appreciate you. I know
Make you
we celebrate. I'm celebrating with you. We celebrating together. We got the
okay.
birthday girl. Like
Nice.
I can't thank you. So I hope that I can be one of the gifts today.
Yes.
The sun is still up, so you still have plenty of time. Plus, you're gonna be celebrating all month, right?
That's right. That's right. I am. I am. I am. My weekends are booked, so I gotta find something to do during the week. But I'm celebrating all month of me. I'm owning that because I don't really celebrate my birthdays. I'll celebrate other people, and I don't celebrate me. So I'm
Yeah.
standing in that. I'm standing in that this month, and I'm owning, my birthright and owning who I am, and just a whole nother dimension and level that I'm on. So I'm owning that this month. So and here on out. So definitely.
Yeah. And we're gonna let people in on a secret now because you just prompted me to tell people about this. Cause you are
Okay.
just like me. My birthday is January the 16th. I always say I'm just happy to be alive. I've never
Yes.
celebrated. I think I only celebrated my 40th birthday because my family wanted to take me out. I
Hmm.
appreciated it. But I love to celebrate others. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And then you know what else? Those avocados. Now we
You know
both
I was finna.
gotta
You
let
know
people
I
know
was
we
finna
we're some
bring it
avocados.
up. I was
Hey,
finna bring
we're
that
gonna have to know some.
up.
Hey, can't nobody break that bond.
Right.
We're
Ain't
gonna have
can't
to go out
nobody.
and
We got to. We
nobody
got
break that bond. Y'all don't know.
Listen, me and
So
Carl, we are avocado and guacamole freaks. Like we love it. We love it. And shout out to my friend Erin
yeah,
too. Me and her talk about guacamole and avocado too.
don't,
I don't know how people don't like. I just
yeah,
can't. What is a world without guacamole? I don't understand. Like, I don't know.
Hey, we
I
gonna
feel that. That's just
guacamole on everything.
on everything.
We gonna have to get together. We gonna
Yeah,
have to get together and show them what we're talking about. We gonna have to
we
do.
gonna have to. We gonna have to. Look, I don't live that life. That life is not me. I don't know about that for y'all. That life is not for me. I gotta have it.
You know what I'm saying? All the videos we gonna stay squat together. I'm gonna have to watch some more of them videos tonight.
I might treat myself and do it too, baby. I ain't that is so funny. We love
You know
guacamole
I
and
had,
avocado. Yes,
yeah,
most
heck
definitely.
yeah. So
Lord,
you
that
might
is
have
so funny.
fun over here.
Yeah, that right there, that's our love right there. I'm telling you. Indeed, indeed. Well,
Mhm.
thank you so much, friend. I just thank you
Yeah.
for coming on this platform and just showing us and exposing your gifts to the world. And we're gonna have to do it again. We're gonna have to connect sometime this month and have you back up here again. So thank you so so very much.
No problem at all. I thank you. Like I said, God blessed you with the platform, and I feel blessed to be able to stand on it with you.
Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Well, thank y'all. We are going to end
Just
our
let me know.
session. Yeah, yes, I will let you know. Definitely, definitely. I will stay in contact with you. Thank you so much.
Okay.
Well, we're gonna
No
end
problem
our
at all. I
session.
love you.
Yes,
Yes.
yes, yes. Love you too. Love you too, bro. Yes. So we're gonna end our writers corner, and so thank you guys again for patronizing. And if you're not looking at it right now, if you are looking at the pre-recording, thank you so much for that. Continue to support us on this month Capital Learning Group. If you are interested in professional development. We're going to have our trainings on next week, on the um, 7th, on February the 7th, and we'll be having presentations about culture and diversity. We're talking about culture and diversity this week, but we'll be having a follow-up training for that. If you need professional development hours, if you're a nanny, if you are in ECE, um, public school, we will have clock hours. This is a 3 hour clock hour training. And so what you want to do is go to www.kaplanlearninggroup.com and you can purchase, go ahead and purchase um, for your certificate if you need clock hours. So definitely be having that. So just a reminder on that. So again, thank you guys for coming out, and we will see you on this Friday at our panel. It's the Black and Brown experience in education. We're going to have a panel of Black and Brown educators just giving their experience in the education and caregiving community. So we'll see you guys at 7:30 on Friday, and have a great evening. Stay blessed. Bye. Bye bye.
All right. Thank you again.
Bye. Thank you.